Welcome back, everybody, to the Harbor Discussions studio. I haven't been in here since September. I'm here with Tide of Pup444. I guess just introduce yourself any other way that you wish. Promote like social medias and stuff like that, and where people can like reach you.
Um, I'm on Instagram, pup.444. Basically, I am a printmaker in Maryland. I do a lot with like patches and like upcycling clothing. I, uh, a lot of my stuff has to do with like just stuff that's like very me tidecore that I've called it before.
Tidecore, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I just like dogs and different creatures. I kind of like do stuff based off of the music I listen to also.
Okay,
Just like kind of just anything that I want to create.
cool. We'll get into all that and some more. We were just talking about like living in Maryland and whatnot.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in like the Hampstead, Westminster area?
Yeah, I mean, I've lived in the same house basically my entire life.
Okay.
Like in between Manchester and Westminster. Um, and yeah, I don't know, it's been very interesting to grow up here, I guess.
Yeah, we've gone over with many guests, I guess, Westminster and the surrounding
Yeah.
towns. It's like I guess what can you say about growing up around here? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if anyone knows anything about Carroll County, it's kind of just like it's just the corn, and
yeah.
then the kind of like backwards people sometimes.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Um, but I gotta say there's been a lot of like bands that have come out of Westminster in our local scene, which have been really cool to like be like, oh my God, they're from I've been there. I know what they're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
exactly. And slowly but surely, we're trying to bring the local scene back. It's been
Yeah.
very hard because there's like nowhere legitimate to do
Yeah,
any shows.
yeah. And
And
if anyone who like has started here has like been like, I'm going to Baltimore. I'm out of here. And
yeah,
like, fair
exactly.
enough. Very
And you can
understandable.
only do something in your house for so long.
Yeah.
So, but I've been trying, and
Yeah.
yeah, the problem is and it's kind of hard to. I try to be upfront when I'm like approaching a business,
Hmm.
and I tell them like, yeah, I do, like punk style shows. So it's
Yeah.
like, and I want people to have fun. I'm not gonna do a show if people can't mosh and stuff. I feel like
Yeah.
it doesn't happen. Like you can tell people not to mosh, but like
Yeah,
9 out of 10 times they're not gonna do it.
if they're gonna dance, they're gonna go for it.
Yeah. Have you been to the like local shows in this area and stuff? Any at
Yeah,
all?
definitely. I mean, I think probably I started going to shows in like 2019.
Okay.
And that was like at oh my God, what was the house venue in Westminster for like a good while?
I know there was the headquarters and then maybe Spider Dome.
The Spider Dome. The Spider Dome was like my first introduction to it, and then like it kind of like the lull of all 2020 really, and then I don't know. There's just been I've gone to shows all over Maryland since then.
Gotcha. You heard of you ever heard of Suckawut?
Yeah, yeah.
So
So isn't Nate's in that band? Or
yes.
yeah, I worked with him at
Okay.
Sheets. Nate.
This is
This
deep
is
lore.
yeah. Okay, no, this is actually deep lore. I think I've mentioned it to Nate at least once, but Nate and Bror Johnson from Ex Opioids, they were like they were seniors when I was a little freshman, and I was like, oh my God, they're so punk. They're so cool. And that's how I got into the scene.
It
Really,
is cool though, cause you don't see that many punks in high school.
yeah,
I feel
it's
like.
really fun to like just see that when you're like not around that type of people or genre at all.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like at Winter's Mill if there was even like any punks that I knew that were like that actually dressed punk. Like
Yeah.
me and my friends, like I knew we liked that kind of music, and
Hmm.
we never really dressed super punk in high school and whatnot. I can't think of anybody that was.
Yeah. I mean, definitely not like friend groups of people. If it was just like one person who was like trying their best.
How long would you say you've like dressed punk, quote unquote, or just been into that style?
So I like okay. I refer to the age of 12 is when I gained consciousness, because I childhood don't know what happened, but when I
Yeah.
was 12, I came out as trans and I started having an experience, right? And I guess like I came out and then I did all the basic things. I dyed my hair every color of the rainbow in like one school year. Uh, Sixth grade was my hair was going through it. And then like I guess I kind of just like tried to do more and more and like expand. I guess like now I dress a lot in like all black, uh, just for like a comfort thing where like if I'm not wearing like a certain ratio of black in my outfit, it feels like wrong. Like I can't go outside. Um, and then I guess like just like going more in with like patches and like really customizing my own clothing has really been a lot of fun and made me like more excited to like dress in certain ways and like get excited about like wardrobes and stuff.
I got you. I'm trying to think of what grade 12 is. Is that like
That's sixth grade.
okay,
Yeah.
sixth grade? I got you. I was like, I started dressing like super emo and shit in like fourth grade because I
Yeah.
just like, I guess I just hit it early. And when my brother was listening to like
Yeah.
Asking Alexandria and shit, so I got super into that. But I was like in elementary school rocking like Hot Topic shirts,
That's awesome.
blue skinny jeans. Like
Blue
I'm not,
skinny
yeah,
jeans.
the bright blues, like
Yeah.
the baby blues, the bright
Nice.
reds and shit, studded belts, and like nobody liked that except
um,
like there was two kids, Ethan and Lauren. Like you both like I don't think either of them listened to this, but like Ethan was like my only friend at that school that I could even talk about that shit with.
yeah.
We both caught some shit for being the way we were,
Yeah.
which I don't know. It's like you said, it's a lot of backward ass people out here. And
Yeah.
going out to Baltimore or any big city, that's the thing
Mhm.
about cities is like you can kind of be whoever.
Yeah, and I feel like there's like less, like not all the time, but I feel like there's less confrontation about that sort of stuff. Where like
Yeah.
if like I feel like I'm way more likely to notice someone like looking at me weird, like in the Walmart in Hampstead rather than like anywhere in Baltimore, just because of like how I look.
Yeah, no, going out there's definitely helped me go back to my roots, I guess,
Yeah.
because like I painted my fingernails once in elementary school. So many kids made fun of me. I was like, never doing this again.
Yeah.
I should have kept doing it and been like, fucking whatever. I like it. But going out amongst people, yeah, that's the thing. You gotta be amongst people who kind of accept whatever,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh, it don't matter. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I think you also, I don't know. It's kind of just stupid shit when you're young. I feel
Oh,
like
for sure.
as soon as you hit like 18 and plus, you get out of school. It's like nobody cares what you do.
Yeah.
I feel like it's even like what people don't think, because like I'll go out with, like, for example, I was in Vegas with my brother, his fiance at the time, and her brother did like straight Chris Motionless makeup, and literally like the hotel maids and like old ladies were stopping like, can we take a picture with you, your
That's
makeup is
so
so cool.
silly.
Yeah, I know, but it's just
Average
like,
person in Vegas.
yeah, it exactly. It's average for a place like that, but you
Yeah.
would like, who in Carroll County is gonna be like, yo, your makeup's so cool. Let me stop and take
Yeah.
a picture and whatnot.
They might take a picture, but like not tell you about it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Fucking post it on Snapchat or some stupid
Yeah.
shit. Speaking of makeup, I wanted to talk about like the makeup that you'll do and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Is it almost like, this might sound bad, but is it almost like clown inspired sometimes and
It
stuff?
is. No,
Okay.
definitely. I no, definitely.
Like, the
Yeah.
fuck?
I guess like sometimes I recently bought like white face paint or like white foundation to like cuz I've really wanted to like do more like gothic makeup, but it's a lot of work and it takes a lot of practice. But I'm kind of diving into it a little bit. But yeah, I really like clowns. I was a clown for Halloween. That was fun.
Does that come from anything in particular?
I don't think so. I think I just relate to them because I am also a silly little guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say like the jester falls in there too?
Yeah. I like to believe I have jester privilege sometimes. I can just do whatever.
Describe that. Is that just like you could do some funny shit and it's all
Well,
good?
yeah. I mean, I think it's like I forget what the text post said. It was like the jester's allowed to just make fun of the king,
Oh,
and
yeah,
he's
that's
allowed to do
true.
it
Yeah,
because he's trusted or whatever.
Yeah,
And
he's
like
like
I feel like people trust that I am good intentioned, but I also I don't know. I like to be silly. I like doing little dances. I like making little jokes, doing little jests. You know, the works.
I got you. So what in general made you get into upcycling, and then more specifically, like what led you to do like your own brand and the whole Pup444 and even like kind of selling stuff and
Yeah.
everything?
So I think my senior year of high school, I was like dual enrolled, so I took like art 101 or whatever, uh, and they had a unit that was printmaking, and we got to like carve a line of cut stamp, and that's the slug design that I have. That was my first ever stamp that I carved, um, and like ever since that, I like kind of just like fell in love with the process of like how like hands on it is, like just carving the stamp, like designing it, and then there's just like when when I was a freshman in woof
There we
when I was
go.
when I started college, I took a printmaking class at Carroll, and it was really fun to just like have like free range and get to like use like this like big like press um, and all that stuff.
I
And
assume it's a lot better than like what you'd have access to in
yeah,
high school.
yeah. Well, cause at the class I took, the first introduction I ever had to printmaking was just like it was a online class, so it was just in my house.
Oh, okay.
So I just kind of like watched the tutorial and did it. Um, but it's really cool to like have like a studio space for printmaking, especially because like it's a very big process because you have to like have like all of this stuff like laid out so it can all dry, and it takes like at least a day for it to dry, sometimes more. Um, and then like having like a big press, uh, printing press is nice, just because it's a lot easier. Because with all of my patches and pretty much anything that I make now, just like hand press everything because I don't have a printing press or access to one a lot of the time. Um,
Yeah, I
and
feel like those are not easy to come by.
no, no, you can get like desktop ones for like $100, but yeah, I just don't have the space for it. But
I got you.
I think the main thing that like I always knew that I wanted to like do something with art ever since I was a little kid, but getting into like printmaking and like lino cuts and like kind of just like diving into the world of relief printmaking um really like was like I need to keep making this, and if I keep making this with printmaking you have a lot of copies of everything that you're doing, and then I was like I need to do something with all these copies, and I was like I can sell them. I might as well sell them. And I got um, I don't know. I've had a lot of help and like encouragement from like the people around me to like pursue it. So I went ahead and did it.
Okay, so you were just selling to friends at first?
Yeah. I like started out doing So I think that the first thing that I ever like fully like released to like sell was I have a fanzine of um, Car Seat Headrest Twin Fantasy album. I printed out all of the lyrics to it, and then I annotated all of my like opinions and emotions and things I connect the songs with in my own personal life.
Okay.
And I sold that. I sell that on Depop, um, because it's the only place that I haven't gotten copyright striked for it.
Got you.
But like that was like the first thing that I really did to sell, and then after that point, I kind of was just like, people are interested in my art and like the stuff I have to say, so I kind of just kept going with it.
Cool. And like as far as the name Pup, I'm assuming that just comes from the love of dogs and stuff
Yeah.
like that. What about the 444? Does that come from like the angel number and
Yeah.
stuff?
So 444 is, I guess, like my personal angel number that I connect with the most. Um, my interpretation of it is just like it's a sign of like protection, a sign of that like the person seeing it is like you're on the right track, like you're making a good choice with what you're doing. So whenever I see that number, it's kind of just like a affirming thing for me to be like someone's saying I'm doing good, and it makes me feel good.
I like that even more now because that kind of that helps me with what I do and stuff
Yeah.
like that for sure. Um, I think it was your own custom hoodie that had the Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Mhm.
thing on the back. I'm
Yeah.
assuming you're really into horror movies and stuff.
I do like horror movies. I wish I was the type of person who like could watch movies like again and again, but I can watch a movie a couple times with very long stints in between because I
Okay.
need to forget a lot of what happened to be able to rewatch it again a lot of times. But I will say, Scream, the first Scream, could watch so many times in a row on repeat again and again and again. I
Okay.
love that movie so much. Um, but yeah, I like horror movies. They're fun.
Gotcha. So I thought maybe Texas Chainsaw was your favorite. Do you just
Mm,
like Leatherface?
No, that was okay. So on the back, the reason I have that patch on the back of my hoodie is because it was just like a T-shirt I had from Hot Topic that
Okay.
I cut up because so I think that there was either like a bleach stain on it or there was some sort of stain on it that I was trying to cut like so it could like kind of be like a crop top, but then it didn't work, and then I was just like, I'm just gonna use this as a patch on my hoodie because I was making it at the same time.
Nice.
So it wasn't really like Leatherface on the back of my hoodie because he's my favorite. It was kind of just like a convenience thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nah, I like that you brought that up because I had a tank top from a Lincoln Park show that I went to
Mhm.
when I was a kid, and it was kid sized. So
Yeah.
like, there's no way I could even crop that if I wanted to, and it had stains, it had rips, and I always hold on to concert shirts and stuff.
Mhm.
And I was like, I don't know what I'm ever gonna do with this. And then
Yeah.
I had the idea one day. I personally cannot do that kind of stuff with my hands. I haven't tried it.
You haven't
But
tried.
this girl I went to school with, Grace, I know she does like upcycling. Like she'll do like blankets and sweaters and
That's cool,
stuff.
yeah.
Or I should say sweaters out of blankets. She'll take like
Oh,
blankets, like
word.
NASCAR blankets, and
Yeah.
make like sweaters and shit.
Yeah.
So I saw that and I was like, you know what? I have these like blank Supreme shirts. I was like, I should take this. I should cut out the Lincoln Park graphic and like get it sewed on, and that's what I ended up doing.
That's fun.
Yeah,
That's
and
so
that kind
cool.
of got me, I guess, into doing
Yeah.
DIY shit. I mean, I've always seen it. I've always thought it was cool. I just never had it because I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I never had the need for it.
Mhm.
But I was like, I want to keep this shirt. I want to wear
Yeah.
this, which I guess is one of the cool things about what you people like you do.
Yeah.
Is there any other pieces you've upcycled personally like that?
Oh, so many. I know I've recently been going through this era of just like getting long sleeve shirts from Goodwill
Okay.
that have like some sort of like subtle pattern on it, and then I'll just put a patch on it, uh, and that's it.
Now I gotta ask because the Westminster Goodwill here sucks.
Don't say that. The Westminster Goodwill goes so hard.
It
I
does?
love it.
Huh.
I
Maybe we
love
shop
it.
for different things. I haven't been there in a while either, but like anytime I go there, I've never found like
Dude,
too much that's been good.
okay, I agree. I normally won't ever walk out with more than like four things
Yeah.
at a time. Like not like even if I wanted to, I don't think I could. Um
there is nice pieces in there.
Yeah.
I'll rephrase that, but like there's
No, it's
it's never
definitely
anything that I'm like, oh my god, no
yeah.
way. This.
So like I was there like last Thursday, and there was like someone. There was some Depop reseller who was there
Oh god,
before me,
yeah.
and instead of like putting back all of the pieces that they picked out and didn't want, they just like left it on top of the rack, which
Okay.
is like shitty for the workers, but like thank you for curating, I
Yeah.
guess. But it was like this like beautiful like long leather black trench coat, and it was amazing, and I was so gonna get it because it was only $20, but it was way too long for me,
Ah.
like way too long. Um, but that was pretty cool to see.
Is there anywhere else that you go to thrift or get anything like secondhand?
The only other place that I really go to, like, I've gone to like other thrift stores around just for like, cause it's like in my friend's town and we go with them. But
Okay.
the only one that I ever like think of like to go to is the Community Aid in Hanover.
Got
It's pretty
you.
good. It's pretty big and they have a lot of good stuff. Um, yeah, that's
I've
the
been
only
over
one
there. I
really.
might have to take
Yeah, no,
a
it's
look.
huge. My friend just got hired there too.
Nice. Um, so where was like the first place that you vended at officially?
So the first place I ever vended at was earlier this year at the Razor Apple show, the first Razor Apple show. Um, I forget. I think it was at Lee Mondo in Baltimore. I don't remember the venue. I think that's right. I could
Okay.
be wrong. But
Shout
yeah,
out Razor Apple.
no, for real. Yeah, that was a really awesome opportunity for me. I've had a lot of support with like the whole thing from my partner Logan, um, and like through Logan is friends with Chris from Razor Apple, and Chris asked me if I wanted to vend there, and I was like, yes, absolutely, I will try, and I tried, and it went well, and here we are.
Gotcha. Now, what's the usual reception like at a lot of the places you go? And I
It
guess you could also talk about like a lot of the places you've been able to vend at.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely gonna be like different place to place. I've vended at, your average like punk shows. I've vended at flea markets in Towson. I've vended at every once in a while, like the Auto Bar would have kind of like punk rock flea market type
Yeah, I've seen
deals.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the first vending things I did earlier on. And I've even vended at like I vended at the Carroll Arts Center. They did the horror movie week where they had all
Gotcha.
of the like showings of the different movies.
Yeah, when I was like kind of looking for stuff to put in my notes, I saw
Mhm.
you were there for like several days.
Yeah, I was there for 3 of the showings. And it was pretty good. A lot of the there it was kind of like a mixed crowd, obviously, because of just like the nature of like a Westminster Arts Center.
Right.
But there was like a couple younger people were like into the patches and thought that was really cool. A bunch of the like older people really liked the crochet beanies. They
Okay,
thought that was
yeah.
really cool, and they were like, "I never thought patches on crochet. That's crazy. That's awesome." And I was like, "Thanks."
Yeah, I've seen like seeing like the Destroy magazine dudes with like ski masks with patches.
Yeah, that
I'm
goes
definitely gonna
hard.
do that.
Yeah.
I was thinking of doing that with my Destroy one.
Mhm.
Um, so now I kind of wanted to talk about the inspiration for the other designs and patches. So we've kind of covered dogs and cats and whatnot.
Yeah.
What about the lighters?
So so I have um my patches of the lighters are just like plain lighters because I smoke weed.
Right, yeah.
um
Fair enough.
and
I figured it was
yeah,
something as
and
simple as that.
yeah. I have like a lighter collection, and on every one of my lighters, wait, I'll show you so you have like actual proof.
Oh shit, okay.
On all of my lighters, I put a nail polish 4 on it. Um,
Got you.
I put a 4 on it because the angel number, and so I also have a print that has three lighters and then 444 on each of the lighters to like yeah, and that's kind of just something that I've done for a while, and I was like, oh well, I put fours on lighters, I should make a print out of that because that's like something personal to me.
And no one can steal your lighters.
See, okay, here's a really funny thing. I posted a TikTok a while ago that was like pretty boys put marks on their lighters so people can't steal them. And then all of the comments were like pretty girls have nail polish remover. And I was like, that's evil. That's terrible. That's so rude. It was funny though.
I got you. And then the stars. It's kind of simple,
Yeah,
but
I just like stars. Stars and spirals are just good shapes. I feel like they work well.
and then the Bay girl Bay. Is that just like kind of a reference to the Bay? Like,
So it's actually boy girl and
Oh.
girl boy.
got you.
I've gotten that response a couple of times and I completely understand because I have the O as like in between a star and I can see how that can
you.
be like
Okay, I got
look
you.
like an A.
Okay.
But yeah, that's really funny. But no,
Okay,
it's
yeah.
like boy girl boy
Okay.
in like a transgender non-binary way, not in
Okay,
like
yeah.
a Chesapeake Bay, Maryland.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I got you.
Yeah.
The spiders, I assume, falls with like.
just nature is something that can appeal to a bunch of people that they can be like, oh, I like spiders. I'll put that on something I wear.
I got you. Is there any other like significant designs that you typically do, or anything that you would say is like customary to one of your pieces?
I I mean, we can just talk about the star protector design.
Okay.
That's pretty. I feel like that's pretty integral to me. But I have a character whose name is Star Protector, and basically he's just this little guy who has little ears and he's holding a star. And the story behind him is that he lives up in space and his job is to take care of the stars. And he gets really sad and he's upset because it's dark. So he thinks that he lost the stars. So he thinks that everyone's upset at him and he's bad at his job and he feels really bad about himself. But then he
That's kind of
just
sad.
yeah, but then he just realizes that his eyes were closed. That's why it's dark. So he opens up his eyes and he realizes that the stars aren't gone. No one's mad at him. He was just in his own head. He was just being anxious for no reason, and everything's okay.
I got you. That's cool though.
Yeah.
You mentioned like, how the whole idea of patches and everything kind of goes along with the music you like. So kind of talk as much as you'd like about the different types of music that you're into. It could be in general,
Yeah.
locally, anything.
I listen to a bunch of different music, and I'm so very bad at like recognizing the genre of anything. So
It gets too deep sometimes.
yeah, no, I just say anything's anything at this point, and like people just gotta deal with it. But yeah, I mean, I get my favorite bands are probably like Car Seat Headrest, The Cure. I like Alex G. I like Bauhaus. I like um I don't know.
It's
I
all good.
like I don't know. I like a bunch of different stuff. I've been made fun of by Logan, my partner, before because I listen to a lot of like one like random songs from each artist,
Okay.
not like listen to an artist's like full albums. And so I don't really know anything that I'm listening to at any given point, but I just listen to listen.
I'm kind of like that though. I
Yeah.
mean, not with everything I listen to, but a lot of stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not.
There's just so much music out there that
Exactly.
it's so overwhelming for me to feel like I gotta take a little listen to it all. I feel like it's way too hard to listen to an album's entire discography. especially with like multiple bands.
If the music's not within my personal realm of like going to
Yeah.
shows and finding out about bands, or just like the people I'm around and the music they listen to,
Yeah.
it's like you said, there's so much out there. It's like I gotta really. It's like I'll hear a song somewhere, like some obscure song. I'll be
Mhm.
like, oh, that's a good song, and then I'll be like, now I know that band, but yeah, I won't
Yeah.
go and listen to like 8 albums.
Yeah.
Sometimes though, what I'll do is like if I know I like a artist or something really specific, I'll go and download all their discography and
Mhm.
then just like shuffle sometimes,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
then usually I'm never disappointed.
Yeah.
Um, what other like interests outside of the clothing and stuff that we haven't talked about? You know, like hobbies, I guess, if there's any outside of it.
I'm so like arts focused in so many ways.
I have seen a lot of drawings and stuff
Yeah.
like that on your page.
I I draw, I crochet, I make patches. I what else can I do?
Did the crocheting, did that come just from the same desire? Did you know someone in your family that crocheted?
So I never I kind of just like wanted something to like do with my hands a little bit more that wasn't as like focused as like needing like an intent like to draw something. Um I wanted to be able to just kind of be like, "Oh, let me just follow this pattern and I can do these steps and then it is a thing and that's cool." Um but I kind of just like started doing that because I wanted to have something to like do with my hands while I was just like watching TV or something. And then I don't know, it's just a lot of fun to do because it's really repetitive a lot of the time. And then you end up with a thing, and that's fun, you know.
Hell yeah. Um, I pretty much ran out of questions. I'm trying to think of anything else. The only thing was I didn't know how much you would maybe want to talk about like coming out and everything like that, and like has there been a lot of positive people around you with that? I know a lot of times people
Yeah.
go through certain struggles with that, and
Um.
I definitely want people on this platform to be able to talk about that sort
Yeah.
of thing.
My so me coming out as trans has been a very it's been a story and a half. I I will say I have been very like lucky and privileged to like have as accepting as non-accepting of a father at least. My mom's been like so awesome like since day one I came out. She's always been really supportive. Um, and like I came out like 2 months into sixth grade. I was the first ever trans kid at North Carroll Middle School, like openly at least.
Right.
And that that opened up a lot of issues with like I wasn't allowed to like use either of the locker rooms
Hmm.
for like PE and
So
stuff.
how does that work?
So I had to use one of the teachers' bathrooms to
Wow.
change.
Were you upset at that, or
I didn't care because it's not like I really wanted to like change in front of other people. I feel like if any like middle schooler had the option, like, do you want to change in front of people or do you want to not do that?
yeah,
I feel like it's
guaranteed.
like
I always thought it was mad weird that they
yeah,
like forced that.
but the weird thing is I would have like I would be going to gym and because I couldn't go into either one of the locker rooms, I had to go to the office and ask them to unlock. I had to either use the nurse's bathroom or I had to ask them to unlock one of the teachers' bathrooms. But the problem was the time that I was in gym was usually the time that one of those administrators were on their lunch break.
Got you.
So every time that I needed to go change, it would be like I was like 10, 15 minutes late to class every day because no one was opening the door for me because so I couldn't change. And then I would be like punished in gym class because of that.
Okay, I was just about to ask, like,
Yeah.
was the teacher like, did they understand?
And
Like,
it's there is an incident that like I didn't really realize how like fucked up it was until like I told my mom and she was like, "That's not okay." But we had like this tornado drill, I guess, and while I was like in gym class, and all of the kids in gym class, they were told to go down into the locker rooms because it was underneath of the
Right.
gymnasium. I wasn't allowed down there, not even for the safety drill, and so they told me to go sit in the hallway. Neither of the gym teachers told anybody, any of the teachers that were in the hallway. So had it been an actual like emergency situation, no one was responsible for me.
Yeah, nah, that is not right.
Like me as a whole like 13-year-old, like I didn't realize like the implications of that while it was happening.
Oh yeah.
But like it is like really wacky to think about.
Yeah, definitely. And
Like I wasn't allowed to go into the boys' locker
I
room
feel like
for
in
like
an
a
emergency,
safety emergency type thing.
yeah, let's be real. If a real tornado happened, everybody's going in that
Yeah,
locker room.
like it
Girls,
shouldn't have
boys,
mattered.
teachers, everybody.
Yeah, it was wacky. But I've heard that in recent years they've been better with trans students. I can't attest to that because I am not there anymore, but I am, as I've heard from, the mom groups of whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's always going to kind of be a struggle for at least a long while of just being, a trans youth, really.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I guess as long as far as like acceptance goes, I felt pretty accepted by like my peers and most of my family. And yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
I really like that's pretty much all I have. I mean, is there anything
Word.
else that people should know about you?
Um,
Know about your brand? Anything?
I don't really think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any other things to promote? Are you going to be at any events in the near future?
Yes. Let me look at my calendar.
Yes, go right ahead.
Let's see. I know. So I am vending at another Razor Apple show on December 15th. It's in Boyd's, Maryland, at the garage, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And I think that's the only thing I have coming up, but it's got a lot of cool bands. There's gonna be a chef there, which is pretty cool, I think.
I've seen this. Yeah, I saw it
Yeah.
advertised.
And I don't know, I got stickers coming in the mail that I'm pretty excited for. I've never had stickers before.
What design is it?
So I have one design is going to just be like the Pup444, the
that's
same as
awesome.
like my profile picture. But I have another design that is here. I'll show you. It's these little puppies, and they each have different faces, and it says puppy emotions.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Cool. I guess that's it. Thanks everybody for
Yeah,
listening.
thank
All that
you.
jazz, like, comment, or you